Good morning, everyone. I hope everyone is able to hear me and everyone is able to see my screen. If possible, can someone please confirm if you are able to hear me clearly and able to see my screen?
Yes, sir.
Guys, give me. I think is my voice is breaking, sir? Anything is breaking in my voice, or is it okay, guys?
Okay, sir. No issue.
But my internet signal is showing a little bit different. 1 second, guys. Let me correct my internet. But it's showing. Right. I hope now it's clear now. Okay. So any questions on ELK stack, guys, as of now? As of now, any questions on ELK stack?
You did not upload that code and that PPT yesterday, right?
I'm really sorry, sir. I didn't uploaded that. I'm sorry, really. That's why I always used to upload the code while the class is going on. It's my problem. If at all, if I didn't upload it, how can you ask the questions? Topic ELK stack. It's a PPT. Sort of proxy Microservices or stacks. This. So code and 3 projects. I have 3 microservices, right? 2 microservices are registered to Eureka, right? So I have shared the code. Okay. Maybe it's my apology. I don't know. Somehow I forgot yesterday. Yeah. Maybe you get a time today. Maybe if you get a time, kindly check and let me know if you are having any issues on the ELK integration. Okay. I hope I no need to share these installs, right, guys, sir? I no need to share this installer, right? Elasticsearch, Logstash, Kibana. These installers you can get it from internet. That's what I gave you, and I've given the links also in the PPT, guys. And I'm given the links in the PPT also. You can get it, right? Yes or no?
Yes.
Yeah. Thank you. Right. Now the next topic which I want to focus on the same line, which is on the same observability. Mostly we will use ELK or Splunk. These are the popular tools. Okay. Very, very less usability. I cannot say that very small probability. That is Zipkin. Okay. It has some issues also, but it is not streamlined by the Spring Boot also. But as part of my content, I need to teach here. The percentage of people using Zipkin is very, very less. I can say that. Please correct me if I'm wrong also. Okay. Zipkin and Sleuth. This is what I'm going to focus here. So, anyone had any idea, guys, on the Zipkin and Sleuth? Anyone has any idea typically? So far, anyone, any idea on this? Anyone? Minimum idea. Okay, that's fine. So, the main purpose of actually this main purpose is, for example, sir, I will take a scenario. Best scenario is, okay, e-commerce framework. Okay. Maybe to complete order, sir. To complete an order, 20 microservices are involved. Assuming that 20 microservices are involved to complete a order. First microservice 1 calls to microservice 2, microservice calls to microservice 3, 3 calls 4, 4 calls 5, 5 calls 6, like that. A chain of microservice. Microservice 1, 2, microservice 2. And here also we have histories also may be available for each and every service also. Circuit breaker. That's again microservice 4 internally 5 by 6. 5 is actual and 6 is fallback, something like that. So up to we may have of microservice 20. Okay, sir. Maybe I can say that better to be precisely. Order service is going to call cart service. First one, product service. Product service will going to call something like that I'm getting. Inventory service. Inventory service is going to call location service, GPS. Whatever the product which is giving is available in that location, or GPS and shipment service, whether we can ship the products to that location. After that, cart service. After that, discount service. After that, payment service. After that, shipment. After that, review. And after that, return. Something. So these are the, I mean, I explained at high level, right? Now this is my flow. Right, sir? This is my typical flow. In any, I mean, if in real time, if I want to complete a particular use case or a particular transaction, typically I need to have 20 microservices are involved. Microservice 1 is calling 2, 2 is calling 3, 3 is calling 4, 4 is calling 5, like that. Okay. Typically, I need to involve 20 microservices over here. Now, assuming that my transaction is failed. My transaction is failed, guys, assuming that. Okay. If I want to backtrack, or I want to debug, or I want to troubleshoot. Hey, my transaction is failed, right? Why my transaction is failed? I want to nail down. How I can nail down, sir? Forget about ELK. Yesterday's ELK is forget about it. Okay, I don't have any ELK. How will you nail down, sir? How will you debug, or how will you troubleshoot? Assuming that my exception handling is very bad. Any error I am getting. Okay. By default, any error I am throwing. Internal server error. Something like that. Assuming that any exception comes here. Any exception comes here. It will throw internal server error. That's what I can see on the user. That's what I can see on the user interface. Or some server error. We cannot, something like a generic exception I'm throwing. Now sales team or marketing team or anyone, or a level 1 support or level 2 support or whatever it may be, right? Hey, what is this, man? A generic problem. Okay. You should give me a clear message to us. What is went wrong on this particular order? What went wrong on this particular order? What exactly went wrong with this particular order? How we'll do that actually? What is your approaches on this? What exactly your approaches on this? So it's my infrastructure. Maybe I'll add some kind of exception. This is failed, or that service is failed, that service is failed, something like that. Okay. But what I need a infrastructure is, if I install ELK, how it will help me, sir? Assuming that yesterday we got a knowledge from ELK, right? Assuming that all 20 microservices logging, how ELK will use here, guys? Any idea? How ELK will be used here in this case? Whatever the knowledge you got yesterday, right, sir? Whatever the knowledge you got yesterday, is it ELK is going to help me? Come on, guys. I hope it helped me, right? It helped, right? What I'll do here, in a better perspective, I can create a transaction ID, a unique transaction ID, or some kind of order ID I will log in. Definitely order ID will be generated, right? Order service will create order ID. That order ID will go to product service. That order ID will go to inventory service. That order ID will go to GPS service. I'll make sure that one unique identifier, that is a transaction ID or order ID or something kind of unique identifier, I will generate at the initial start of microservice. I'll generate initial start of microservice. Okay. And I'll span this. I'll roll out this particular transaction ID, or I will roll this particular transaction ID to all the microservices. Okay. And I will display the transaction ID on the UI, the order ID. You will see the order ID, right? It's common, right? For example, in Amazon, you placed the order. Somehow you need to get return, but return is not coming to your account. Something you are returned the product, and Somehow it's stuck on the return side. The order is struck and you didn't get an amount back. What you'll give, you'll call customer care, right? What is the first thing they will ask? Order ID, right? Hey, can you give me your order ID, Mr. Vijay? I need to give order ID, some unique identifier. What happens here? All these 20 microservices logs, I will push to ELK stack. Log stash will push to Elasticsearch and Kibana. I can see that. I'll search yesterday I searched with some kind of string, right? Now I'll search with order ID so that I'll get complete logs of all the 20 microservices logs. If it reached to 10 or if it reached to 15 or if it reached to 20, something like I'll get the complete history. I'll get a complete history on that. And I can check the issue, where exactly it is stopped and where exactly it everything I can get it, right? Will you agree to, guys? Is ELK is going to help you? Will you agree to that? I will give this my tool ELK log monitoring tool to my level 1 support, customer care support. Sir, this is how it happens in real time, sir. Level 1 support will be there, right? Every product, level 1 and level 2 and development. In every product, we have 3 levels of hierarchy: development, production support, also level 1 support. Level 1 production support is level 2 development. What is the responsibility of product development team? They will always develop the features. Production support team, level 2. They will be fixing the production issues. They will only involved in the production, how to reproduce, how to work with the customer, how to give a hot fixes, all those things. Level 1 will be talking to customer and understanding the issue and finding network level or anywhere level, and just like they'll get an idea by talking to customer. They'll make sure that customer will not be getting a worst on our product rating. So they will convince the customer something like this is how real-time hierarchy. So I'll give my ELK tool to level 1 support and they will search with the order ID. Okay. Now they will come to know the logging. Oh, this is how it failed. Sir, your payment is failed, sir. You might have given a wrong details or something like that. Or you have written, you asked for a return, sir. Maybe a return side we have an issue and we'll correct it. We'll do some kind of tools. I will correct that things here and we'll do. So some kind of backtracking, some kind of analysis I can provide with ELK. Some kind of analysis I can provide with respect to ELK. Sir, will you agree to my point? Everyone will agree to my point, guys? Yes or no? Okay. Now, I no need to do any extra work also. In this particular task, I no need to do any extra work. Just like I will write logging. I'm going to write logging, nothing else. If I embed ELK, I no need to do any extra things. Do I need to do anything here? I will log all the things here. Info level log, debug level log, find level, exception level, different logging levels. I'll take care. I'll log it. That's it. And there is no extra headache for me. Only one-time headache setting up of ELK. That's it. So in the similar way, Spring also tried similar to ELK, but it is not that much popular. Because of performance. Because of performance, guys. If you generate tons of logs, tons means what? Heavy logs, maybe 10 GB, 20 GB, 30 GB logs. I need to find Zipkin may not quickly give how as per ELK. But that's a different story altogether. I'm just giving my opinion on Zipkin and Sleuth here. It is given by Spring Boot. There are some tools in Spring Boot, they are not up to the mark. In my perspective, it's not everyone's perspective. In my perspective, Zipkin is not up to the mark. Spring Ribbon, load balancer ribbon is also not up to the mark. So they have given some products, but they are not absolutely accepted by developers. They are somehow a little bit outdated. I can say that lot of tools in Spring also. Unlike Eureka, API Gateway, Historic Circuit Breaker, Resiliency 4J, event-driven architectures. So those are powerful things here. But some of the things in Spring also, they have not reached to the expectation of in real time. There are some other tools, competitor products like Splunk and ELK. They dominated this. And I'm not sure, will you agree with my point or not? If any debates also, I'm okay to debate. Okay. But this is purely my perspective. There is nowhere documented that, hey, Zipkin is not that much fast like ELK. It's only my observation. I'll correct, subjected to correction. If I am wrong also, sir, please don't mind. I might be wrong also. But anyone worked on this and you can provide an update on that. But this is my perspective on this. Clear, everyone? Any questions so far? Okay. Jayashree is asking, any other services in cloud equivalent to Zipkin and Sleuth? Yes, AWS is giving, ma'am. Log tracing they have given. I forgot the name actually.
CloudWatch.
Yeah, CloudWatch, correct. Exactly. CloudWatch is giving. CloudWatch is giving. But to be frank, in my perspective, CloudWatch also, mainly they gave CloudWatch for health check. Service 1, Service 2, Service 3, health check related things, lot of information is available in CloudWatch. If I want to troubleshoot, I need to read 1,000 log entries. When I saw CloudWatch, unnecessary information is coming. I want only my debug logs. Whatever I gave my debugging, that only it should come. But CloudWatch is giving hell lot of information. But yeah, for me, yes, you can use CloudWatch, but not that much user friendly. Is it correct? We know that who is mentioned just name. Who told the CloudWatch? This is my perspective.
Yes,
Right.
correct. Correct.
Yeah. But it is available. Okay. So in my perspective, I'm really I saw very great advantage with ELK in my environment, which is giving all possible feasible solutions. I can give the tool to L1 support. I can develop quickly. We can search quickly. Distributed logging, everything is solved. That is a typically an ELK. Okay, fine. Now on a Zipkin and Sleuth. So the main intention, what they developed is, they wrote a code, Zipkin service or Zipkin server. Okay. It is written by Spring Cloud only, which is created by Spring Cloud community. We can get the code also, guys. This one. This guy code also we can get it. Okay. So what is their idea? They created a Zipkin server. What is the code they wrote is they will have they thought of having efficient logging without developers, without writing code. Developer no need to write any code. But I want to achieve efficient logging. For example, ELK is there. If you don't write logs, if you don't write anything, is ELK is useful for you? If you don't write anything, is ELK is useful for you guys? No way. If you write logs only, it will be useful. But will you assume any products in IT industry without logging, without logs? No, I don't think. Any small product also, we will write logs, and that too, we have different log classification, info log, warning logs, error log, right? So logging is also one of the development task only for me. Correct, right? But what Zipkin and Sleuth is thinking is, even you don't write any great logging, like sending a unique identifier to all microservices, sending a unique identifier to all microservices. So Zipkin is giving me that infrastructure. What exactly the logic is? Internally, Zipkin creates a logging format. It internally creates a logging format, which is, the format is service name. That's the first keyword. After that, trace ID. After that, span ID. After that, export flag. Service name, trace ID, span ID, as well as export flag here. So what is this actually? For every logging, for every log you write, or else if you don't write also, it will internally write something like exceptions or anything, right? So this is a format it should generate. It is going to generate this format here for logging, extra logging here. So the first entry is my service name. A sample format, I can say, guys, here, sample format. I can say sample format here. Like order service, comma, trace ID. Some unique identifier. Some unique identifier. Maybe first I will explain that. I'll come to the sample format here. First, let me explain this. What is service name? The microservice name. Whatever the name I wrote, spring dot application dot name, right? Whatever we write here, spring dot application dot name in our microservice, we write, right, guys? Whatever the name I wrote here, that is a service name here. And A unique transaction ID. A unique transaction ID. A unique transaction ID. That is a trace ID. So it will generate a unique transaction at a microservice one. At a microservice one, it will generate a unique transaction and it will span. Sleuth is going to span, or it is going to circulate, or it is going to send, whatever, distribute, whatever it may be, to all the microservice. Sleuth is doing that actually internally. Sleuth component is going to do that. One is calling two, two is calling three, three is calling four, four is calling five, five is calling six, six is calling seven. In microservice 1 to microservice 20, a unique transaction ID will be generated by the Zipkin and Sleuth will distribute that particular transaction ID. That particular transaction ID which is going to distribute. A unique transaction ID. So if I get this unique transaction ID, if I research, if I do my logs files, I'll go to search it. I'll get all microservices log. For example, sir, I created order. It failed in 14 service. All 14 services log files I can see with the transaction ID. Unique transaction ID per, not microservice, per transaction. Unique transaction ID per use case I can say, or for a transaction. Unique transaction ID over transaction. You need to remember, guys, unique transaction ID over transaction. One more span ID is unique transaction ID per microservice. Per microservice, one more unique transaction ID. Per microservice, one more transaction ID here. So two transaction IDs. First transaction ID is unique per transaction. Second transaction ID is unique per microservice level. It's typically unique for microservice level. And any idea about export flag, guys? Anyone? Export flag. Default value is false so that this flow is there. But if you want to create your own transaction ID, main transaction ID you want to generate again, or you want to first 14 microservice, one transaction ID, after that one more transaction ID, they thought of using this flag, but it is absolute. I mean, it is a completely, I cannot say that whatever the flag they introduce, it is, I hope it's not up to the mark. By default, export flag is false. It's a default value so that unique transaction ID will be passed to all the microservice. In the middle, if you want to generate one more unique transaction ID, that microservice, that Zipkin, you will write true. From that true onwards, it will generate a new transaction ID. But somehow we don't have that option to generate at a true level, false level. Okay. We can ignore the export flag as of now. That's what as per this. Okay. So totally, sir, it's a Zipkin logic. or a sleuth design. What is that actually? Generating a unique pattern in logging. Generating a unique pattern in logging, service name, trace ID, span ID, as well as export flag here. Okay. Service name is whatever the microservice name we will register. Spring.application.name. That is a microservice name. Trace ID. A unique transaction. Sir, who will generate this? Zip can only do that. You don't need to do anything here. Just like you need to mention the configuration. You need to mention the configuration. What is the configuration you need to mention? Hey, please, I will add Zipkin configuration in my pom.xml, and that will take care of generating the transaction ID, unique ID. Maybe I can say that unique ID. Unique transaction ID, unique ID. Okay. So that it will generate unique transaction ID over transaction. Not only a certain microservice, over a transaction I want to achieve. Unique transaction ID over transaction and unique ID per microservice. And export flag is if you want to roll out any new transaction ID flag at any level. That is absolutely not that much use here. So this is the Zipkin format which will be added and it is having. Any questions here, guys? As of now, anyone, any questions here? Any questions here, guys? Anyone so far? Clear, everyone? Okay. Now, sir, is it providing any UI, sir? Does it provide any UI? Does it provide any UI? Yes. It has its own UI. It has its own UI. It is created by the Zipkin community itself. They have created a server and it has its own UI. Maybe I'll show UI, sir, guys. I'll show UI. We need to download the Zipkin server. I mean, hands-on I'll take tomorrow, but I want to show. I'll show the UI. So localhost 9411. It's a default port number. 9411 is a default port number. This is the UI, sir. This is a UI. Service name. All 20 microservices I told, right, sir? All will come over here in the drop down. You want all microservices or a specific microservice? You want all microservice or a specific microservice? You can come to know. Okay. After that, span ID. If you have any span, means what? A unique transaction ID. I told, right? A span ID, unique ID for that service, for that microservice, for that span. At what time? Is it just now or 3 hours back, 6 hours back? Okay. and anything is, you have any search string in that something like I wrote here exception, or else I wrote here stock service calling payment service. I wrote in my code, is this log entry came or not? In that microservice, in that particular span, in that half an hour or whatever it may be, whether that is coming or not. This is the UI which is giving me information. This is giving the information. This is the Zipkin UI, which is created our own. I mean, this is given by the Zipkin. Okay. But the drawback I observed is, if your log size is exceeding 1 GB, very huge log file is there, then Zipkin is not, it's giving very, very slow, not like compared to here. That is what you need to remember. Zipkin is very, very slow in that particular aspect. But this is, you can save also, find a trace, viewed, saved trace, you can save also. If you save it, and you can this and dependencies from this time to this time, how many microservices are called, and you need to see here. So something like a log tracing tool where I can call that this is Zipkin. So this is the UI which they have given as part of distributed log. Do you feel this logic is going to work for us? Do you feel this logic is going to work for us, guys? Or anything you observed, anything here, guys? Yep. So service name, trace ID, span ID, export flag. These are the things which I'll choose. Okay. Everyone is good, or any question, guys, so far? Today, I mean, mostly in questions are, I mean, it's a straightforward and it's a simple, that's why maybe, but any questions here?
So what is the use of export flag you told?
Export flag, sir. Okay. By default, the flag is false, sir. Okay. So that it will generate the main transaction ID from the beginning to ending. In the middle, if you want to drop somewhere else, I don't want the main transaction ID, something like you want to stop that flow. You want to export flag. I want to stop that particular flow. I don't want from here. I want to generate a new things. If you want here, the purpose of breaking that particular this main transaction ID flow, you need to set it export flag to true at certain level. But after that, Zipkin is not providing the solution. If I set it at a particular microservice to true, runtime I cannot take it. At design time only I can take it. So export flag is not a proper design in case of Zipcon and Sleuth, but the idea of a zip export flag is, can I stop this logging at a certain period where I can generate your own transaction ID, your own span ID, rather than continuing in the main flow. Can I control anywhere here? That's the point here I want to focus. That's the point that is added here. Okay. Sir, anyone used Zipkin, sir, in your real time? Anyone? Maybe Chaitanya. I think Chaitanya is not there. Vinod, Ansari. You people used in your real time this Zipkin, anyone?
No.
Okay. Yeah. About others, okay, that's fine. So just like I want to collect your feedback, whether my perspective, your perspective, almost same or not, that I want to get it here. Okay. So on a configuration point of view, also very, very simple, guys. Just like what I need to do here, how ELK we added here. Similar way, what we did here, in ELK, we'll give only log stash, right? We configured log stash, which will point to our microservices logging here. But we need to add in an application configuration, spring dot zipkin dot URL, where our zipkin service URL I need to configure. I need to add spring dot zipkin dot URL, our zipkin service URL like http localhost :9411, which I need to use here. This is a default port. Okay. So that logging format will be added here. Logging format will be added over here. If you write this, that's it. You no need to do anything. As a part of developer point of view, you no need to generate a unique transaction. You no need to generate a unique trace ID. Nothing like that. Everything will be taken care by the framework itself. And complete traces you can see here. In this particular UI, you will see all the traces here. Completely traces you will see here, and you can see that. And where this is somehow where our level 1 support will, I can give this UI to them. Like ELK dashboard, Kibana dashboard, how I am giving, this also UI I can give to them. So that you no need to spend extra time on developing this tool, on troubleshooting this tool, and backtracking this tool. All those things, we no need to do anything here. Okay. Any other question, guys? Okay. Maybe 5 minutes early. I'm stopping only for today, sir. Tomorrow I'll take extra 5 minutes, just like to compensate this. Tomorrow we'll focus on this hands-on. Tomorrow's agenda is focus on this handstand. I will start a beautiful topic, sir. After this hands-on is completed, a beautiful topic, event-driven architecture. Very, very interesting. And also good chance for collaboration. Like you can cross question and I'll answer. Something like good brainstorming session with the event. I like that particular architecture, and you will also like that event-driven architecture. A very, very beautiful topic, interesting topic. One of the interesting topic in design patterns. I like that, but I want to collect a feedback from you. Okay, fine. Before I think I've shared this. Tomorrow I'll share this. Running notes and the code at one time. And please practice ELK. If you have any questions tomorrow, I will also take up. Okay. Thanks everyone, guys. We'll see you tomorrow. Have a great day. Thank you.